The draw for the postponed 2024 African Nations Championship, or you can call it a CHAN, was conducted yesterday. That was the 15th of January 2025 at the Kenya International Convention Center in Nairobi, Kenya. And yes, that is going to shape a bit of our short discussion today. But greetings, everyone. Clive Chaze is my name, coming you straight from Kampala, Uganda. One of the countries, by the way, that will be co-hosting the 2024 African Nations Championship alongside Kenya and Tanzania. That will be in August 2025 after CHAN, rather after CAF postponed the tournament that was initially supposed to be from the 1st of February to the 28th of February 2025. Just a couple of days or weeks from now, but the tournament has since been postponed to August 2025. The reasons for postponement is to give the three East African countries more time to make sure that the facilities, that is the competition venues and the training grounds and a few other things are put in place to meet the CAF required standards for that tournament to happen. But nonetheless, the 17 teams have already qualified for the competition. 2 are yet to qualify to take that total to 19. And the draw was conducted or was held yesterday in Nairobi, Kenya. Probably just to take this out of the equation, why 19 teams and not 18? Initially, it was a tournament of 16 teams before CAF made it a tournament of 18 teams. And indeed, it was supposed to be a tournament of 18 teams at this time round because the different regions that have present countries that qualify for this tournament, each region is required to present 3 countries for this tournament. So that potentially takes it to 18. But because the East African region or the CECAFA region already had 3 hosts taking up the 3 available slots for this tournament, CAF made it a requirement to provide an extra slot for a team in the CECAFA region to qualify sportingly for the tournament. That is how actually Sudan gets to qualify for this tournament alongside Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. So the region, the CECAFA region, will have 4 countries, the 3 hosts and Sudan that qualified automatically. But of course, there are 2 more countries that are yet to qualify to fill the slots after countries from the Maghreb withdrew. One of those was Algeria, if I'm not mistaken. The other was Libya. Those 2 countries withdrew. Potentially, they were the 2 countries alongside Morocco that had qualified from that region. So what we'll get to know is that there's going to be a mini qualification tournament where countries like Egypt, where countries like South Africa, and a couple of other countries are considering to be part of the qualifiers to qualify for the CHAN. Now, the 2 countries that will qualify in that mini tournament will be placed in Group C according to the draw. And of course, I wish I was start with a Group C that has Uganda, that has Niger, that has Guinea, or rather Guinea, and 2 other countries that we are yet to know. So if through the qualification tournament, you have countries like Egypt, you have countries like South Africa, if countries like Algeria get a change of heart and they take part in the qualifiers, just know the 2 countries from that mini qualifying tournament are going to be placed in a Group C. So potentially there is an opportunity that Uganda and Niger and Guinea can line up against South Africa, and Egypt can line up against Tunisia and Egypt, Tunisia and South Africa, or Algeria and any other country. So, well, the target for Uganda is to try and qualify from the group stages over this competition for the first time. It might be a little bit extremely hard depending on who we shall be playing against, much as we shall be having the advantage of playing at home. Of course, the draw was held yesterday. Football legends, Inasan Wasamawanda representing Uganda. You had Mrisho Ngasia representing Kenya, Tanzania, McDonald Mariga representing Kenya, helping out the CAF official to conduct the draw after ministers of sports from these 3 different countries came, spoke, gave assurance that East Africa, of course, will be welcoming Africa, and we should be able to host the best CHAN tournament ever, something that CAF President Patrice Motsepe has also been emphasizing, together with the FA presidents, by the way, who also had a lot of nice things to say. But of course, everyone left the draw without their doubts in their minds that Group A that will be having Kenya is without a doubt the group of death. Kenya is in that group alongside Morocco, who are 2-time winners of this competition. They won it in 2018, and I think they also won it again in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, before withdrawing from the last tournament that was hosted by Algeria. They were chasing a 3-peat, but it never happened. In the same group, you have Angola. Angola must have been semi-finalists in 2011. Finalists, I need to check my records right. That tournament where Uganda made its debut. In the same group, you have DR Congo, another 2-time champion of this competition. DR Congo won the inaugural CHAN competition 2009. That tournament was hosted by Ivory Coast. Uganda didn't qualify in that one. Actually, the East African region, or Sekafa region, was represented by Tanzania, who defeated Uganda at the last hurdle over the qualifiers after Uganda had no, we played Kenya in the next part of the qualifiers, but it was Tanzania that had defeated Uganda to qualify for that CHAN. And in the same group, you also have Zambia. So without a doubt, this is a group of death. First of all, you have 2 teams that have won 4 titles of the last 7 editions of the CHAN. DR Congo, who won it in 2009, and they won it again in 2016. When Rwanda hosted that tournament. Then you also have Morocco, who were the first team to defend this competition. You have Zambia. We know Zambia as a football powerhouse on the African continent. We also know Angola as a football powerhouse on the African continent. Because remember, the CHAN tournament is played by players who play in the domestic leagues of their countries. Now, we all know how Moroccan teams compete on the continent, both in the Champions League and the Confederations Cup. You can say the same about teams from DR Congo, much as things are not going well for TP Mazembe and all that. But these are teams, they have clubs that frequently play at the big stage of African football. Zambia are together with Angola. So without a doubt, Group A for me is the group of death, and we are waiting to see how Kenya, who by the way are making their CHAN debut, or will be making their CHAN debut, will be conducting themselves to see that they get out of the group stages. We would want to see all 3 East African countries, or all 4 East African countries get out of the group and qualify for the knockout stages. But you want to feel that is a tall order. Now, Group B is where you find Tanzania, the other co-host. Alongside Tanzania, you have Madagascar, you have Mauritania, you have Burkina Faso, and you have the Central African Republic. You want to feel that probably it is a balanced group for Tanzania. Probably because they have 2 of the teams of late that are frequenting club football in the African continent. Young Africans are together with Simba Sports Club. Much as, yes, they have foreign-based players littered in their team, but they also have the Tanzanians who actually play in this group. You feel that it won't be that easy for them, but they have what it takes with adequate preparations for them to navigate this group, get out of the group as one of the 2 top teams to qualify for the knockout stages. But I will be waiting to see how everything gets to pan out. And now Group D is where you find the defending champions. Senegal defeated Algeria on penalties to win this competition in Algeria. In the same group, you have Congo. In the same group, you have Sudan. They are the Sekafa country to qualify. And then you also have Nigeria, who don't have a very good record, by the way, playing at this CHAN tournament. It is a football powerhouse on the African continent, but not when it comes to CHAN. Actually, if the tournament was going to happen in February, we were getting information that their new head coach, the former Malian coach and defender Eric Chell, was actually coming to the CHAN as more of a supervisor, but not really to take charge charge of the team. But with the tournament postponed to August, you probably feel that he will be the man in charge. 4 groups that are going to be spread across the region. Of course, Kenya, if both their facilities can be ready, Nyayo and Kasarani Stadium, they will be spreading their games between those 2 venues. Group B, where you have Tanzania, only the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in the mainland is available for this tournament. You feel that these games will be played there, apart from the last group games that are supposed to be played at the same time. And of course, Group C, where you find Uganda, and our Mandela National Stadium is the only venue that we made available for this tournament. Group D, we can't really ascertain whether it will be best in Zanzibar. We are yet to get those details. Probably the Amani Stadium in Zanzibar will be used as a reserve venue, or it's actually a venue that will be used for competition, because there's also an opportunity where you probably have 2 groups based in Nairobi, Kenya. But you feel that Group C's, rather Group D is probably the one that will be in Zanzibar. The Amani Stadium in Zanzibar is the only artificial turf that we have for this tournament, or that was registered for this tournament. All these other venues, Nambole, Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, Nyayo Stadium, Kasarani Stadium, are venues with natural grass. Of course, recently, Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, was upgraded to AstroTurf, but at the Amani Stadium in Zanzibar is of artificial turf, though we are told that after the CHAN, they will have to remove the artificial turf and plant natural grass. That plan is already there. So we just probably need to wait and see how ready our venues will be, how ready our training facilities will be. But the draw on a very, very, by the way, colorful ceremony yesterday, you want to feel that was equally very successful. It gave a glimpse of what East Africa will be treating the rest of Africa, will be treating the rest of the world when this tournament comes around. The schedule is not yet out because, of course, usually after the draw, then you get to know who is playing who at what date and what venue. But we are yet to know that. The reports we are getting is that the draw, the opening game, and the final were going to be spread across the 3 East African countries. Kenya, of course, after hosting the draw, we are told, according to reports, this is information that we are yet to verify because we are doing our own investigations, asking a few reliable sources here and there. It means that the opening game and the final is between Uganda and Tanzania. But still, that is information that we are yet to verify. Because when you look at the logo that CAF put out, the order, how the teams are registered in that order, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. In most cases, that order usually determines where the opening game is going to be played, where the final is going to be played, and all that. But as we wait for official communication, we can only speculate. So there are high chances that Tanzania will be hosting the opening game and Uganda will be hosting the final, or the other way around. Uganda hosting the opening game, Tanzania hosting the final. I got information, report that actually Uganda requested to host the opening game of the competition because they feel that the opening game will probably give us more color than the final. That is us not having confidence that the Uganda Cranes can go all the way to the final, because you wouldn't want to host a dull final. Usually on the African continent, tournaments, rather matches like the finals, are a little bit dull if the host nation is not the one playing in that final. We wouldn't want to be in that position. But regardless, for me, whether it is the opening game coming to Mandela National Stadium, whether it is the final coming to Mandela National Stadium, I just feel that we can actually pull it off. But you feel that probably the final, or the opening game, will give us that excitement that we need to start that tournament fully. But also the final, because it is the icing on the cake. All the eyes on who is going to lift the championship. Remember, we have a new trophy for this competition because CAF yesterday, earlier on, before that draw, they also launched a new trophy from the old one, and of course a new logo. But we'll be waiting for more information. At least we are sure that information is going to keep on coming. We shall also meant to continue doing the coverage in the different East African countries. There is a lot that you are yet to know that you will probably want to know about Uganda, especially about the venues. The AstroTurf is being installed at the Mandela National Stadium. I plan to go there to see how it is done, what kind of work is done, talking to the different officials, Afande Chidemoka, the project engineer, the MD of Mandela National Stadium. We have plans of making the short trip to Dar es Salaam to check out Benjamin Mkapa Stadium and a few other venues, what exactly is happening there. And yes, very soon we should also be returning to Nairobi, Kenya, to check out the different venues and the progress they are making and all that. So we'll continue to give you exclusive and extensive information as the 2024 African Football Championship does draw closer. We are talking about August 2025. That is all we had for you today on this episode of Football 256. The channel is Seeker Sports, by the way. So I just encourage you, if you're watching our content, if you're enjoying our content, feel free to press that subscription button. Just subscribe. Let our audience grow. But also, we very much enjoy and appreciate the feedback through the likes and the comments. But also, if you feel that this content can be useful to anyone out there, feel free to share the link with them. Clive Chaze is my name, coming to you straight from Kampala, Uganda. Have a blessed day until we meet again in the next episode.